guess that you're not a big point spread guy. I've never heard you talk about point spreads, Vegas, odds, anything like that.
No, because I suck at it. It's not because I don't like it. It's like fantasy football. I'm not a big fantasy football guy because I suck at it. I don't think it's good or bad. I just suck at it. So I'm not good at. And the thing about it is how spot on Vegas be most of the times. It's like what? How did it do? I mean, I don't. You can't point shave that much. Those guys are just good, man.
I'd like to run the numbers on that. I generally agree with you. And the thing is when Vegas is off, it's at a time, it's a game in which like everybody's off. Like it's not like,
Yeah.
okay, Vegas really missed it and I took advantage of it because I knew that was going to happen. No, it's when everybody's like, oh, Bama just lost 44-16 to Clemson. Well, nobody saw that coming. So it's not like people saw
Nobody.
that
Yeah.
coming. And
I'm willing
yeah,
to bet you
it's
that.
pretty incredible.
I'm willing to bet you they're at least 75% chance they're right all the time. 75%. 75% that they're right because you can't. I'm willing to go 80% because you can't get rich off of missing much.
Well, here's the deal. So all they have to do is balance the betting side. All they have to do is make sure that they've got 50% of the people betting on one side, 50% on the other side. They take their 10% cut and they're good to go.
You about to make me. I'm about to pull up how often is Vegas wrong because I'm thinking 75%.
Okay.
I'm thinking 75, 80% because I could be wrong. I like I said, I never get into it. So
If you're just talking about picking the games without the point spread, I'm around 82%.
but you good.
But now
Yeah,
against a
I'm
point
not.
spread, you got to hit about 52, 53% because of the cut Vegas takes. You got to hit 52, 53% just to start to make money. And I'm usually in the 58, 59% range. So I'm going to
Yeah.
throw this out because when I asked the Vegas question, this is the reason why, because I noticed that it was reported just a couple of days ago that Florida's opened as an 8.5-point favorite against Miami.
Great.
So I wanted your thoughts on what do you think that means, if it means anything. Obviously, once they kick it off and guys start hitting each other, it doesn't mean a damn thing. But obviously, Vegas knows what they're doing most of the time. So there's something that weighs into that. And of course, it's 10-3, top 10 in the nation versus 7-6. But you got a completely different coach and possibly quarterback in play on this side. So you can take
Vegas
it away, and I'll look for the best comments.
Vegas was wrong on us a lot when it was telling us we were gonna win. That's one thing they were wrong on us a lot. But I think the reason why they opened as an 8.5-point favorite is because they have the same system, same coaches, everything coming back. So I feel like that's how and the record that they had last year, which deservedly so. They deserve to be the favorites. It's not like we deserve to be the favorites. We have to earn that. So I mean, Vegas got them favored, deservedly so. They played better than we played last year.
Got
They won more games.
contributions coming in from Brendan Vasquez and NMDTV. NMDTV, thank you so much. Great job, guys. Go Canes. Appreciate
I've never seen
there.
I've never seen him on my channel. I've never seen MDTV on my channel.
I haven't either.
I've never seen him.
He's enjoying something. Appreciate that.
Now I need to get you over there on my channel, NMDTV. George is always on my channel.
Oh, George.
George, what did George say?
George,
it's great to be a Florida Gator. We are always one of the premier programs in college football. Always, I'll give you all that. Now, as soon as you can get your administration to stop being a bunch of punks and actually play us on a yearly basis, then I'll actually maybe have a little bit of respect for.
I've heard something else starting to come out there when you said when you pulled the trigger on punks.
Yeah, punk. Yeah, I call them Mitches. I don't even say I call them Mitches. They ran from us from so many years. I think Slim Shady Kane. I think they've beaten us once. Last time they beat us, I think they beaten us maybe once or twice since 1981.
They actually beat you the year you won your first national championship. Florida won week one matchup against Bernie Kosar, Howard Schnellenberger in Miami in week one in 1983. Now, the
Yep.
only other game that they won since then was Tim Tebow was there. I looked this up a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about it, and I believe it was 2008. They won the national championship.
Yeah. That's the only two times they beat us. Master of Dreams is mad at me because I basically booted him because he's a silly guy. He told me to shut up. Thank you, Master of Dreams. Just support Mark Rogers. Let me see. See.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something good here.
What does Isaiah James say? I got it being a top 25 matchup. They're not gonna put Miami in the top 25 because Florida is most likely will be a top 10. They're not gonna put Miami in the top 25. We're gonna have to win first. They're not gonna put us in the top 25 just for that game. I mean, I don't want nobody giving Miami anything anyway. Miami need to earn it. Yep, that's it. Dennis Wilson said they beat us twice since they beat us twice, only 85 and 08. Was it 85 or 83?
I think it was 83.
Might have been 83.
Your first championship team lost the first game to Florida. And here you go. You mentioned this a couple minutes ago, Zoe, about me remembering scores. You can look this up and check me. Florida 28, Miami 3, game 1, 1983.
Okay. No, I believe you.
Where are we? I got to find a good comment here. Man, if those teams are lining up today, I got to take 8.5 points off the top of my head. That's a bit strong for a team. So you made a good comment, and this makes total sense because, I'm watching football games all over the place, and I'm tracking Florida football. I saw the bowl game against Michigan. I got to put that to the side in a sense because even though they took Michigan to the cleaners, Michigan was missing half its team. 1,000-yard running back, best defensive tackle, 2 All-American linebackers, best cornerback, the whole deal. Anyway, they beat them, so that's fine. But during the regular season, as you mentioned, they lost to Missouri by 17 points. They beat South Carolina. I was watching that game. South Carolina had them. They had the game won and blew it. And that was in the swamp. They lost to Kentucky by 2 scores. They beat Mississippi State like 10-6. So they won the games and credit them in a good league. So I would a
good league, not that side.
So
not that
SEC Eastern Division. I'm a little bit more favorable toward the SEC East being a good division than you are, but
that side is garbage. I live here in SEC East country. There's only 2 teams out of that division that's won national championships. Matter of fact, only one team. The last 2 teams that win national championships outside of that conference was Tennessee and Florida. Sure. And that's in the last 100 years. That side is, serious. Georgia won in 81, right?
80. Yep.
80. Besides Tennessee and Florida, who else has even been good? South Carolina's never. They had a few good years under Spurrier.
So
Kentucky got lucky. They had a good running back. They got lucky. They had a good running back.
Lucky.
Miami got last. Miami got lucky 2 years ago. Teams have a good year. But I mean by consistently good.
Kentucky
Missouri
brought a rock solid, like top 5 to 10 defense in the country last year.
You think they'll feel that? You think they'll feel that same thing this year?
No, because those guys are going to the NFL. They are losing their team.
That's my point. That's what I mean. You feel that every now and then.
Past season.
Yeah, but it's like what I mean by consistently weeks. I mean on a consistent basis. What team in the SEC East is consistently? Missouri won its first 2 years in the SEC East.
Yep.
His first 2 years there, they won the East. How do you do that?
Their second and third year, to be exact. But
okay. How do you do that? That's my point. Is like the East is so weak. They're weak. They're weak over there.
But weak compared to what? So I totally get it. I get you that Georgia's the top program, but they've only arrived here in the last couple of years. Before that, they were a good program. They were a top 10 to 15. Now they're a top 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Florida's. We'll see. We'll see if they can sustain this. They had one good year, and it was a good year, and they weren't a dominant team.
But those are the teams I respect in the East.
Kentucky was good last year, but it's 1 year. Again, I would expect that they're going to go back to 7-5, 6-6. Mizzou's going to be a 7-5, 6-6 kind of program year after year after year. Tennessee's the wild card. Tennessee has been awful for the most part of 10 years, but they've got the resources. They've got the chance. They've got
They've been awful longer than that.
The recruiting classes to be good.
They've been awful since 2000. When they won their last national championship, that was the last time they were really good. 98, that was the last time they were good. They've been, I mean, they fired Philip Farmer. They
were good until about 07.
Well, they fired Philip Farmer. Lane Kiffin took a helicopter ride. He took a helicopter.
Lane, he's a piece of work.
I can't remember I cannot remember the last time they have fired every coach.
Well, it depends what you consider good. What's good to you?
10-win season. How many 10-win seasons have they had since Philip Farmer left?
None.
That's not good. And they're not.
9-4 a couple times.
They're not a good team.
Okay.
The problem with them is they have the money and the resource for South Carolina, but they don't have. It's not a football state.